What if Salem's biggest danger this week does not begin with an attack, but with a disappearance no one fully understands? The week of April 27 on Days of Our Lives brings a disturbing mix of secrets, panic, and emotional shocks. A baby reveal threatens to change one couple's future. Gabby senses danger around her daughter. Javi faces a sudden medical crisis. And somewhere in the middle of it all, Sophia's next move could push everything into chaos. But the real question is simple. Who is truly in danger, and who is only pretending to be? Because in Salem, the scariest plans are not always the loudest ones. Sometimes, they begin quietly, with one clue left behind, one person missing, and one mistake that changes everything. The promo opens with the kind of reveal that does not need a loud explosion to feel devastating. Joy Wesley introduces Alex Kyriakis to their baby girl, Kelsey, and in that single moment, Alex's entire reality changes. This is not just an awkward surprise from the past. It is a living, breathing consequence standing right in front of him. For Alex, the shock is immediate. He now has to process fatherhood, responsibility, and the fact that Joy kept something life-changing from him. But the more complicated fallout may belong to Stephanie. Because Stephanie is not only watching Alex react to another woman and a child. She is watching the future she thought she was building suddenly become uncertain. That is why the timing with Steve's gun training feels so sharp. Stephanie is trying to regain control after everything she has been through. She is learning how to protect herself, how to steady her hands, how to feel less vulnerable. But then Joy's baby arrives as a different kind of threat, one that cannot be aimed at, stopped, or controlled. A gun can make Stephanie feel prepared for physical danger. But Kelsey's arrival forces her into a question she may not be ready to answer. Can she stay in a relationship where the rules have changed overnight? This reveal may not destroy Alex and Stephanie immediately, but it places a crack right through the center of their marriage. And once that crack appears, every reaction after this will matter. While Alex is forced into the shock of fatherhood, Stephanie's emotional world becomes even messier when Jeremy Horton steps too far at exactly the wrong time. Joy turning to Jeremy for support makes sense at first. She is overwhelmed. The truth about Kelsey is out. Everyone is reacting, and Jeremy may think he is offering comfort in a vulnerable moment. But the problem is not just that he leans in for a kiss. The problem is what that kiss represents. Stephanie is already dealing with Alex's connection to Joy, a baby she did not expect, and the sudden possibility that her marriage may no longer look like the life she agreed to. So when Jeremy misreads the situation, it does not feel romantic. It feels like one more person acting on emotion without thinking about the damage. That is why Stephanie's reaction could be stronger than simple irritation. She may see Jeremy's move as selfish, badly timed, or even disrespectful to the seriousness of what is happening around her. And emotionally, this could push her into a very lonely place. Alex has a new responsibility. Joy has a child and a crisis. Jeremy creates another complication. Meanwhile, Stephanie is left trying to figure out where she fits in a story that keeps changing without her consent. That is what makes this part of the preview so important. The kiss may be brief, but it could become the moment that makes Stephanie realize she needs distance, not only from Jeremy, but perhaps from the entire emotional storm forming around Alex. Then the promo shifts into Gabby Hernandez territory, and the energy changes instantly. Gabby does not whisper her warning to Liam Selico. She fires it at him. "You stay away from my daughter. Do you hear me?" That line is not just anger. It is alarm. It is instinct. It is a mother recognizing danger and refusing to wait for proof everyone else can agree on. This is where Gabby becomes especially compelling. She can be calculating in business, impulsive in love, and ruthless when backed into a corner. But when Ari is involved, everything becomes simpler. Gabby does not need a committee, a debate, or a perfect explanation. If she feels that someone is threatening her daughter's safety, she moves first and explains later. That makes her confrontation with Liam feel bigger than a random outburst. The real question is what Gabby has noticed. Has Liam crossed a boundary with Ari? Has he shown a darker side that others have missed? Or is Gabby reacting to a pattern only she is sharp enough to recognize before it becomes obvious? Either way, her warning suggests that Liam may be more dangerous than he appears, or at least dangerous enough for Gabby to drop all politeness and go straight into protection mode. This storyline also gives the week a grounded kind of suspense. Sophia's plot may be darker and more dramatic, but Gabby's fear feels immediate. It is the fear of a parent who senses that something is wrong before the full truth is visible. And in Salem, that kind of instinct should never be ignored. Because when Gabby Hernandez starts drawing a line around her daughter, someone has already stepped too close. Now the preview moves into its darkest turn. Amy Choi discovering a disturbing note in Sophia's room. The power of this moment is not just Amy's reaction. It is what the note is meant to do. Brady is there, Amy looks shaken, and the entire scene seems designed to make everyone believe Sophia is in immediate danger. In 1 second, the focus shifts from suspicion to fear. But that may be exactly what Sophia wants. Sophia has been dropping hints that she may be planning to disappear from the center of the storm. So this note may not be a sincere ending at all. It may be the opening move in a calculated escape plan. If Sophia wrote that note to manipulate the people around her, then she is not just running from consequences. She is creating a false emotional crisis to control the room. Amy's panic becomes cover. Brady's concern becomes distraction. Salem's attention turns toward finding Sophia, while Sophia may already be moving toward Johnny. And that changes how we should read the entire preview. Sophia may be trying to turn herself into the victim before anyone can prove she is the threat. It is a cold strategy because it uses her mother's love against her. Amy will not be thinking like an investigator in that moment. She will be thinking like a terrified parent. That gives Sophia time. And time may be exactly what Kristen DiMera needs her to have. Because Kristen is not just somewhere in the background reacting to the fallout. She appears to be waiting, watching, expecting the plan to move forward. So the note may not be the end of Sophia's story. It may be the curtain she drops before the real danger begins. Kristen's image in the promo is chilling in a completely different way. She is at the DiMera mansion, looking calm, smug, almost pleased with herself. That kind of confidence says a lot. Kristen does not look like someone worried about chaos. She looks like someone who believes chaos is finally working in her favor. And that may be her biggest mistake. Kristen appears to be counting on Sophia to go after Johnny and finish the job. But Sophia is not a trained operative. She is emotional, desperate, cornered, and increasingly unpredictable. That makes her dangerous, yes, but it also makes her unreliable. Kristen may think she has aimed Sophia like a weapon, but weapons can misfire. Once Sophia reaches Johnny's apartment, the danger becomes immediate. She blindsides him with something that gives her control, leaving Johnny vulnerable and pleading as the situation turns terrifyingly serious. For Johnny, this is not just another DiMera family feud. This is survival. But the scene may also expose the weakness in Kristen's plan. A plan like this only works if every move stays controlled. Sophia has to stay focused. Johnny has to stay isolated. No one can interrupt. No one can connect the warning signs. No emotional hesitation can crack the moment. And that is a lot to expect from someone like Sophia. Because when fantasy turns into reality, people change. Panic can rush in. Anger can become messy. Fear can make someone hesitate, overreact, or make a mistake that leaves evidence behind. Kristen may be imagining a clean outcome. Sophia acts. Johnny is silenced. And Kristen remains protected behind the walls of the DiMera mansion. But Salem almost never rewards that kind of arrogance. The more confident Kristen looks now, the more satisfying the collapse may become later. Because if Sophia loses control, Kristen's fingerprints may not stay hidden for long. And if Johnny survives long enough to tell the truth, Kristen could go from mastermind to exposed conspirator in a heartbeat. Just as the promo makes it seem like Johnny's apartment is the center of the danger, the hospital suddenly becomes just as important. Javi collapses right in front of Sarah Horton, and that detail should not be overlooked. Sarah is not just a witness. She is a doctor. She knows how to read a crisis, respond quickly, and recognize when something does not make sense. That means Javi's collapse may be more than a separate medical scare. It could be the first clue that Sophia's plan is already spreading beyond her control. The timing is what makes this so suspicious. If Javi's medical crisis connects to the Sophia situation, then the hospital may become the place where the truth begins to surface. Maybe Javi saw something he was not supposed to see. Maybe he came into contact with something connected to the attack. Or maybe his collapse is part of a chain reaction Sophia never planned for. Either way, Sarah's involvement raises the stakes. Because Sophia's entire scheme depends on confusion. She needs people looking in the wrong direction. She needs Amy focused on the note. She needs Johnny isolated. She needs Kristen's plan to move quickly before anyone catches up. But a medical emergency can disrupt all of that. Once Sarah gets involved, the story moves from emotion into evidence. Symptoms, timing, exposure, witnesses, those details can create a trail. And if Javi's condition points back towards Sophia, then her victim narrative may start to fall apart much faster than she expected. Johnny may be the target. Amy may be the emotional cover. Kristen may be the hidden architect. But Javi could become the loose thread that pulls the entire plan apart. And if that happens, Sophia's biggest mistake may not be attacking Johnny. It may be assuming the only danger to her plan would come from the person she meant to silence. So the week of April 27th may deliver far more than one shocking attack. Joy's baby could shake Alex and Stephanie's marriage before it even has a chance to stabilize. Jeremy's mistake could complicate Stephanie's emotional world even further. Gabby may be stepping into a dangerous confrontation to protect Ari. And Javi's collapse could become the unexpected clue that connects everything back to Sophia. But the biggest question is still this: how far will Sophia actually go before reality catches up to her? Because leaving a disturbing note may make her look like a victim. Attacking Johnny may make her feel powerful. And working with Kristen may make her believe she has a plan. But Salem has a way of punishing people who confuse chaos with control. And if Sophia's plan fails, the fallout may not just expose her. It could drag Kristen down with her. Now I want to hear what you think. Is Sophia really capable of going through with Kristen's plan, or will something stop her before it is too late? And could Javi's medical crisis be the twist that finally breaks this whole story open? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned, because this week on Days of Our Lives looks like it could push Salem into one of its darkest and most unpredictable turns yet.